I don't like to say I'm a standard director or an average director. One thing I like to do is I like to get involved. I like to know what all the staff are up to, what they're doing, how well are they doing. I also like to know what people are called. There's nothing worse than someone opening a door and you go, thanks mate, or, thanks sir. So for me, I like to be a social person in the workplace. My job as a director of What Utilities is far more than that. I look after the financial aspects of the business, push the business on, liaise with departments, head of departments, work with people from all different ranges. I even like to be the first one in the building so I can open the door so I can see people come in. I like to know um, everything what's going on in people's lives, working lives, social lives. So I feel like they can come to me and they can talk to me about things. Obviously, I've been at What Utilities and been doing this for just a shade over 13 years. I started off as myself and my brother Peter working in a back bedroom, trying to push the empire on, not really knowing how to sort of do our next deal or who was going to pay us and how we was going to do certain jobs. But like anything, you get through it. You dig down. You work hard. You speak to people. You find a mentor. You find the right people. I believe one of the reasons why we are so successful is when we got into this industry. Well, myself back in 2005 is the industry wasn't as difficult as what it is now. We had the opportunity to still do face-to-face contracts. It wasn't until sort of towards the back end of 2005 where people started doing verbal contracts. So I believe that gave us an opportunity to actually see what it was like face-to-face and compare it over the phone. A lot of the suppliers at that particular point weren't doing verbal contracts, so we helped certain suppliers and worked with them. We actually built some verbatims for people. We got a chance to see people come up the ladder. We got also the opportunity to see suppliers like E4B and Biz Energy sort of fall and see where their mistakes were. Obviously, we had the unfortunate pleasure of the recession from sort of late 2008, 2009 up to affected us up to about 2012. When we came out the other side, we decided that we'd change our infrastructure and rather than dealing more on new acquisition, we'd look at more the renewals and the focus of what we've been doing since 2005. So that's what we've been doing. Well, I came from the car industry, came from the car game, worked there for 10 years. Used to work for Mercedes Benz. Thoroughly enjoyed being around cars, thoroughly enjoyed working with people and working with them and being a part of my extended family. I was probably when I was looking at to get into What Utilities, I was looking at an exit of coming away from cars. I probably would have done something in IT. I probably would have done something with a trainer. I do like working with people. I do like training people. I do like people uh, knowing that I care about them and I want to work with them and I want to sort of see how their knowledge grows. I've worked and mentored with several people in the business to sort of show how they have bettered themselves, seen them go through stages where I've seen something in them and turn them into managers or leaders. So definitely some sort of trainer or something along them lines. Definitely not being in the car industry or IT or trainer. I'd like to do lots of things outside work. I do enjoy work. I do enjoy it thoroughly. I feel like I live, breathe, and eat it 7 days a week. Outside of work, I have lots of hobbies. I love going up to the Lake District, spend some time over the lakes. I've got two small children, so I spend a lot of time with them. I love cars and spend a lot of time around vehicles and people who've got cars and sort of going to different events and traveling around and seeing people. And obviously, I love collecting cars as well. Oh, um, recently, I've tried to cut back on coffee. So for me, it's just been water. There's pros and cons. I feel like I go to the toilet 50 times a day, where I never did before with coffee. But if I had to pick one drink for the rest of my life and I had to work, it would be water. If it wasn't, it'd be some sort of alcoholic beverage. So if I had to invite three people to dinner, who would they be? Past tense, John Candy. When I was a child growing up watching his films, made me laugh. Used to really enjoy watching any film that he was in. Very very funny. And as a family, just used to bring us all together and used to love watching everything he was in. Second person would be Roald Dahl. As a child growing up and through school, used to enjoy reading his books, um, and then seeing his films coming on TV. absolutely a great, true, inspirational person. So it'd be Roald Dahl. Third person, I reckon I'd love to have dinner with would be Winston Churchill. Just been recently watching the latest film, The Darkest Hour, and I just think seeing another side of it and all the hardships and everything he had to fight to sort of get where he was and for us to accomplish what we accomplished. So to meet Winston Churchill would be fantastic. Three people current day that are alive. I think I'd like to sit with Donald Trump and meet Donald Trump. I know he doesn't drink. I know he doesn't smoke. I think he's quite a funny person. He doesn't seem to have any filter and says what's on his mind. So I'd like to sort of meet him. Second person I'd like to meet, I'd say, would be the Pope. Not because I'm religious in any way, shape, or form, just because of obviously the stature of the person and just to sort of see the Vatican. Third person, I think you'd have to probably go for someone a little bit more famous. And to be fair, I love watching Ryan Reynolds and his films. I think he's funny. He's got a good sense of humour. Loves motorbikes. So for me, probably having a beer with Ryan Reynolds would be quite good. Well, as I always like to say, it's more of a solutions. Everything's under one roof: gas, water, electricity, telecoms. Um, Not just that, but even if you didn't want to use us for them services, there's other services we can do where we could look at uh, energy storage, energy saving, site works, um, and basically, I like to think a one-stop solution for all your utility business needs. Um, there is other companies out there that do it. Granted, they probably do some better than us and some worse than us. I like to think with us being a family-run business and caring, and the directors being very hands-on and a part of it, I like to think that we've not become a faceless organisation. I like to think that we're a trusted utility broker, or a TPI as some people call them. I like to think that we've been around long enough between the three directors. There's 30 years experience, and I like to think that, sorry, 40 years experience, I should say. And I like to think that just between us, that we're in touch with a lot of suppliers, and we have the right people to the right paths and can help people and get them in touch to save them money. And that's it, really.